Entry, here we go. Whoa! Reporting not so live from Apple Valley Speedway. We got a 4-door ER34 Skyline.
Yep.
I'm sorry we have to do this today because I forgot my microphones, but luckily we have this awesome Harbor Freight screwdriver that we're going to use as a microphone.
Oh, that's
so
pretty cool. I didn't
yeah,
even notice that.
let's talk about your car when you're done prepping it, and then we'll go drifting.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for Rodney to get his R34 ready, we're going to check in. Wait, that's not Richard.
Hello. I'm Chris. Hi.
Hi, Chris. What are you doing in Richard's car?
I'm going to see if the car is good, and then I'm going to teach Richard how to drive.
Hello, good sir.
We're still waiting for Rodney. He's still getting his R34 ready. But I'm here with my buddy Chris Marion. He brought his S13 out. How did it go?
Went great. I found all the dirt.
So generally speaking, you guys are supporting road racing and autocross and everything grip with KW. But with drift, it's all about ST.
Right. It's a different market that we're kind of hitting. We want to hit a different price point also and make it a more affordable brand to have fun with and do fun things like this. And that's kind of where our target is. So materials change, some technologies changed, so we can lower the price and have something more economical for everyone to use and have fun with.
But it's made in the same place in Fichtenberg, right?
Correct. In the same place. We just use a galvanized body instead of a steel or stainless steel construction. So that's a big cost savings.
It starts with a piece of metal, and by the end, it turns into a coilover. Back to you. '90s forever. Yes. As you guys probably know, I got into drift photography specifically from a love for driving, and now after all these years, I'm actually driving, and that's actually why we're here at Apple Valley Speedway. But I actually wanted to feature this car. Rodney has this awesome 4-door R34, and we actually had a chance to catch up a little bit in Japan last time we were at Tokyo Auto Salon. We went to that fun drift track. You know, the funny thing about this track is it's indoors, and it's on the second floor of like this industrial park in Japan, and they're running gas motors. So everybody's just getting fumed out all the time. What's the story with this R34? This is a 1998, so it's actually federally legal now.
Yep. Federally legal, but I'm still waiting on like paperwork, so it's going to take some time. We had to ship it piece by piece. I have a friend that like just told me when I bought it, I was like, hey, I need someone that could ship a car. And he was just like, oh, I can do it, but it's not going to be simple. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Because I really wanted to build this car because I was really bored of the Cressida. And now here we are, I guess 3 years later.
So you started this project 3 years ago. Was this inspired by Ken Nomura, or what was this inspired by?
Yeah, I was inspired by Ken Nomura. Like, just watching like all his videos from back in the days, like I wanted to actually have a Skyline, especially sedan. And then went to Tokyo Auto Salon, I think it was 2019. And then we bought the car. After that, I was like, yo, I need to get a fucking Skyline.
Yeah, this one's cool, but this one's special, and I'm sure a lot of people hate you for this, but this doesn't have a Skyline motor in it at all.
Literally, I ripped out the RB just because I kept hearing a lot of my friends with RBs complaining about RB problems, and I don't want that. And I have no clue what to do like with RBs, and KA's always been here. So the funny story about this motor is, you know Henry Shelley, right? He actually built this motor. This is like one of the blueprint motors that he did. So it's a fully built motor. I think he had it in FD09 back in the day.
Wow. So this was running in his S13 in Formula Drift many, many years ago, like 2008, 2009. I actually have photos of that. This is a truck motor, sir.
The torque is there.
This was a ER34 GTT. Is that what it's called?
So the GTT and up actually has HICUS, and the only model that doesn't have HICUS would probably be the GT from what I think I researched. And it shares every suspension components, rear end, bottom, and under the shock tower as a S14. That's from my understanding. So literally all the arms, lower arms, even the coilovers are actually S14. And then a good friend of mine, Adam, did all the custom top hats, and he actually swapped the motor in for me. He did pretty much all the legwork while I was busy, working my ass off.
Okay, so KA24, now it's a DET. I don't remember how much power it was making back when it was running in Formula Drift. How much power is it making right now?
It's only making like 369 horsepower and 369 torque. Looks like a NA car on the dynograph. The only reason why I opted, because I had a SR sitting literally under my workbench, and this KA was actually in my S14. So with that, I was like, you know what? Like, this motor actually does a lot better in, like rough conditions than the SR. I've blown like 5 SRs, and knock on wood, I don't want to blow a KA, but I feel like this one's a lot more reliable, in my opinion, and parts are more accessible. And
so you pretty much built this whole thing yourself?
no, it was not by myself. It was actually the biggest help was from a lot of my friends, especially Adam. I think you may know him, Feliciano from JDM BMW. He has that 1J E30 back then. But yeah, he's the one who actually built this. I just pretty much pieced it all together. And in my mind, I just told him, like, this is what it's, like, gonna be. And I did, like, majority of the exterior work with Richard Rabe, and then all the stuff, wrapping and everything, making it fit, pretty much me. But all of this, like the lines, he deleted the ABS, and he made custom hard lines for the car. Adam did all of that. And then this custom intercooler piping, water to air, make it look like a stock intake box.
Whoa, okay, there's something crazy going on here.
Yeah.
So then what is this, an oil cooler?
So this is the heat exchanger from pretty much the intercooler. So
So it's a water to air.
Water to air.
But it's like basically another radiator
Exactly.
just for the air
Yeah.
charge cooling.
So it pushes it back, which also works because when we put the subframe, the S14 subframe on this, the motor sat perfectly centered. But we had a lot of space here. And it was actually a really good idea to just put the heat exchanger here, and it pushes the radiator back.
What's crazy to me is that this is still the stock S14 shroud, and you're actually using a clutch fan on this because it's probably a lot more efficient.
Yeah. I don't really trust E-fans too much, especially if I know I might daily this later on in the long run. But stock clutch fan is always, like my favorite, and cooling wise, at least.
So then, is there a reason why you guys kept the stock intake manifold?
It's just a faster response than a bigger intake manifold. The runners are a lot more thinner, and at least that's in my opinion, because I feel like if there's a lot more air building up here, you lose a lot of torque.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is that this motor was originally making 150, 155 horsepower, right, to the crank, and also just as much torque.
At a good day.
Yeah.
Maybe at a good day. I always thought it was like less than 100 horsepower.
Yeah, I mean, but these were, I guess, originally truck motors, so that's why they're so reliable and they're built really nice. But with that said, this was meant for an inline six. Like, how did you get it to sit back so far?
It's all, honestly, through the cross member. The front subframe, the lower subframe, it actually sat perfectly. We didn't have to do anything. It mounted right up to the chassis, and we thought we would have to kind of shift it forward or back, and it just sat on the cross member perfectly fine. We Adam did have to notch the subframe just so the brake lines can work and the power steering lines actually work too. So.
And then what are you doing in terms of transmission?
Transmission is a Z32 transmission, so it's still old school, but it shifts really nice. So the only one we had to get was a custom mounting bracket for that one, just because it was like literally like 2-3 mil off from the hole.
Why is it that you wanted to do a water to air? Like, this has a lot of room, and it seemed like it would be pretty easy to do air to air.
So I like to party, and with that, whenever my friends are in front of me, I like to give them a love tap, or sometimes they just end up parking right in front of me. So I figured if I do it that way, it eliminates the intercooler problems, and all it is just cosmetic problems, you know? But
And then is this the Hikis?
that is
Or
electric power steering.
Oh, this is electric power steering, and this is aftermarket, or where'd you get that
That's
from?
off of Porsche Cayman, I think. Yeah, Porsche Cayman. So Bobby over at Threes Racing actually installed it for me.
And that way, it's just like gets one more thing off of the motor.
Yeah,
huh?
so it's just running off, the power itself, and then we eliminated that. So that part, and dude, the power steering on these cars are so heavy, dude. It's insane.
It's interesting that you imported this Japanese car and put like an American only. I don't know if it's American only, but it was available in the U.S. and it's so far and wide. I mean, these came in Nissan Altimas for, these came in Nissan Altimas for a long time.
Or the little hard trucks.
And they came in the trucks, yeah. So it's pretty cool. So let's do a walk around here. Tell me about the kit.
So the kit's a full Urus GT kit from, pretty much Nomakin. And what I opt to this is because it's such a aggressive looking body kit, but it's also pretty subtle, in my opinion, at least. The only part is probably like the front that's aggressive. And then the fenders are also Urus, but it's a Type R. So basically it's like a GTR wide body. I don't really like to go really wide on the body itself, but so I just wanted something more mellow. And then East Bear hood with the Urus GT drag wing and then the roof wing.
So what about exhaust? What did you guys have to do for the exhaust?
So exhaust is also an S14 exhaust, but we just extended it like about 1.5 feet, if I'm not mistaken, just so it works.
Let's take a look at the interior real quick. Yo, this is nice.
Yeah, everything works. All the gauges, gas gauge, the coolant, all of that still works. And then we added a power tune digital dash for the AEM Infinity 6 ECU. And then my favorite part of this is this.
So this used to be automatic then?
Yeah, so you can see I kind of just blocked it off, but it still works. I put it in reverse and it still beeps, like the Japanese cars. Yeah, everything works down to the ETC.
Yeah, you still have an ETC card reader here.
Yeah.
And it's full interior. Are you planning on caging it or anything?
Yeah, later on. But right now I like to enjoy this stockish interior. Eventually I'll get there.
Dude, this thing is so cool. Let's see this thing drive. Boom. Let's do it. Close. Yes. This is all second gear.
Yeah. Third to second.
Wait, so your entry is third and then you go down to second?
Yeah. So as soon as I hit transition, I drop it to second and then...
Got it. Cool. That was dope.
Richard's gonna follow us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to support us directly, go to larrychenprints.com. I print and sign every single one of these. This is the perfect gift, or it's the perfect piece of art for your wall.